Hi everyone, Stepan here. Game 36 against Kouros once again. Okay, let's see what happens. I've had 4 losses in the last 4 games. I need to stop the bleeding and stop complaining, stop finding excuses. No excuses, I just need to play better. So let's go. Yesterday's game was awful. It's probably my worst game in a long time. So we will see what happens. I should have gone knight f6 to avoid e4 lines, but that's okay. E4 lines aren't really that scary. Bishop f4, I'm gonna go a6. We'll see what Kouros does. The exchange Slav is probably my least favorite opening in my old repertoire. It's very dry, and unless white goes for g4. This avoids bishop f5 lines, I guess, because on bishop f5 there's queen a4 and there's no knight a5. So what am I supposed to do here? Although a3 still hasn't been played, so if bishop f5, queen a4, b5, Kouros will still have to play e3. I'm not too familiar with this, but okay. So bishop f5, queen b3. On b5 there's definitely knight b5. So yeah, I'm not playing bishop f5. So I'm gonna go g6 and just play a setup I'm not too familiar with and avoid any tricks. I know that this is playable, but I know it's not optimal also. I'm just avoiding any queen b3 and queen a4 nonsense for the moment. Because on queen a4 there's queen b6 and I'm on the d pawn. And well, we will see what happens. Yeah, the last 4 games have been tough. Poor play by me, nothing else. And I'm not down on the clock anymore. At least that's good. So probably g6 is either a bad move or a non-theoretical move, because Kouros seem to have played everything up to this point pretty quickly. Alright, so I was planning to play queen b6. Is there anything wrong with that? Queen b6? Queen b6? I don't think so. Seems like the only move anyway, so let's just go queen b6. I don't think there's knight d5. Yeah, I think we're fine. Excuse me, I still have a bit of a cold. If e3 bishop b5, I could consider just taking on b2, because the knight's hanging, and other than rook c1, I don't see an easy way to defend the knight. I didn't want to go b5 because of knight b5, a b5, just hanging my rook and everything. Okay, so b takes. I definitely don't want to trade queens with the attack on b2. seems okay. I mean, I don't know this position, I don't know this setup, but it seems perfectly playable. I can go e6, c5, or I can go bishop g7 castles, or I can go bishop d7, c5. If e4 is played, I probably go bishop d7 to avoid the pin. I can also consider taking, but e4, knight e4, knight e4, d4, d5. Okay, I still have bishop d7, it's still okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, it's not an ideal position because it's not a setup I usually play, but I don't think c6 will be a big weakness after bishop d7. I don't know where the queen will stay. White's queen. On queen b3, I do probably take, because even though I open up the rook, I don't think I should waste the tempo on something like knight d7. And I'm up a couple of minutes on the clock, that's good. Kouros, just like me, doesn't do well in time trouble, as was proven in our last game. If I'm him, I'm still playing e3. I don't think the bishop belongs on g2. I don't think there are any tricks with knight d5 or e4. Wow, b4. Okay, that's interesting. So if b5 is played, I can just take it. So I don't think bishop d7 is necessary, but I may play it. Because if bishop d7, then c5 is threatened, either winning the b-pawn or advancing with c4. Because if c5, bc5, bishop a4, cb6, yeah, okay, probably c5 isn't that great. On bishop d7, I'm also threatening queen takes d4, so probably Kouros has to play e3 on bishop d7. So bishop d7, e3, c5, bc5. Do I have queen b2? I probably have queen b2. So bishop d7, e3, c5, bc5, queen b2. The queen is attacked, the knight is attacked, the rook on a1 is attacked. Is there a way to defend all of those? So bishop d7, e3, c5. Oh, there is dc5. There is dc5. Wait, I can also take on d4 now. Wait a minute. No, because the queen takes on a8. I don't have time for bishop d7, queen c3. So bishop d7, e3, c5, dc5. Yep, there's dc5. However, on bishop d7, e3, can I go e6 and then rook b1, c5? No. Wait, maybe. Bishop d7. Oh, come on. Come on, quickly, quickly. Concentrate. Okay, I'm gonna castle first. So I'll go bishop g7. I'm gonna castle first. I don't think bishop d7 and c5 should be played before I castle. I don't see anything concrete because of dc5 and my queen is attacked. So let's just castle and then think about it. Okay. Now let's avoid all trouble. And I'm gonna go bishop d7 next. Defending my rook on a8, threatening c5. I actually like my position. I think b4 wasn't a good move. Okay, bishop d7. Now c5 is stronger. And if the queen moves away, I can go a5. Excuse me. My niece got me, or I got some sort of flu from my niece. My whole family did. I can also choose to play for e5. So let's say rook e8. But I'm not sure if I should go knight h5 because of bishop h5. So on c5, dc5, I think I should go rook fc8 and a5 because I don't see anything good coming from c5. So rook fc8 and then a5, and then if b5 I can take, and on knight takes, sorry, b5, pawn takes, knight takes. Doesn't seem too promising, but it's okay. The knight's pinned. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go rook fc8 without wasting too much time. I couldn't make c5 work. c5, dc5, and what? I'm just giving up the bishop pair and the pawn. And it's going to be hard to recapture the pawn on b6. Because I don't have rook b8. Yeah, a5 is the way to go. a5, b5 seems to be the only response, but then I go c5. And then on dc5, I can go rook c5, attacking the bishop, and then preparing rook ac8. Attacking the knight, sorry, and preparing rook ac8. So if, for example, rook c1, then rook ac8. And he does have a passed pawn on b5, but... or I can just take on b5. So a5, b5, cb5, knight b5. And then how do I increase the pressure on that knight? Well, I could go knight h5, and if bishop takes, I take on b5 first. That seems interesting. So a5, b5, cb5, knight b5, knight h5. And if bishop h5, I take bishop b5. And if bishop g5, then probably h6 is okay. But I don't have a g5 because bishop h5 then wins a full knight. I would still take on b5 and win an exchange though. So a5, b5, cb5, knight b5. Okay, this is smart. Preparing for a5. So a5, probably queen c2. And then bishop f5. a5, queen c2, bishop f5. Well, a5, queen c2 I can take, so a5, queen b3 probably. a5, queen b3. Wanting to play knight a4. Well, he wants to play knight a4 anyway. Wait, if c5, bc5, then queen b2, and the knight is attacked, the queen is attacked. The queen has to go to d1, and then if I take on c3, on rook c1 I have queen a3. And on c5, dc5, I can go queen e6. And once the queen moves, let's say to b3, do I have knight e4? Winning an exchange. So c5, dc5, queen e6, queen b3 or queen c2, knight e4, and then if knight e4, bishop a1. Ooh, that's interesting. So c5, dc5, queen e6, queen b3, knight e4. Knight e4, bishop a1, rook c1, knight c3. I'm gonna play it. I like it. And on bc5 I go queen b2, and I'm not sure how the knight should be defended. Excuse me. I mean, the pawn has to be taken, because if the queen moves, I just go c4, and I have an excellent position. Or I just take on b4. But probably, instead of winning the d pawn or the b pawn, I can just advance with c4 and have a safe advantage. Okay, takes with the b pawn. Oh, there's queen b4. I didn't even see queen b4. Why didn't I see queen b4? I did not see queen b4 on queen b2. Oh, this was just stupid. Why didn't I see queen b4? Yeah, I missed queen b4 completely. Okay, so let's not do this. I have to retreat my queen. Queen b4 was what I was hoping to play, but it doesn't work. This was just a blunder. On d takes, queen e6 still worked, I think. But this was just awful. Yeah, this is just bad. Okay, let's try to grab the bishop pair at least. So let's go knight h5. I'm gonna allow him to ruin my structure. I have to play dynamically. I'm not sure about this. I thought I had bishop e6. Am I wrong? Obviously, I'm wrong. Okay, let's activate my pieces. Oh, there's knight takes. Oof, this is just awful. Yeah, I'm resigning. If knight e6, I'm resigning. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why am I playing so poorly? Why didn't I see queen b4? Yeah, I thought I had queen b2. So if you're like me and you think practicing against the engine is boring because it either crushes you or plays like an idiot, try playing against Nocti. Nocti is a human-like AI that's going to adapt to your strength, is going to play like a human, try to trick you like a human, and challenge you on your own level. The first thing you can do is, of course, assess your rating, and you can play a rating test against Nocti. Yeah, the only move is g4 and then queen f4 mate. Yeah. Good. Yes! 2557! Come on! It's going to tell you your strength, but there are many more features. The first thing is, when you play Nocti, you get instant feedback, and all of your moves will get sort of color-coded. Nocti will immediately tell you if you made a mistake. That way you can ask Nocti to see where you went wrong. You can play games in openings you're trying to learn. So you can import any repertoire you want and play Nocti in that specific opening. Just go to repertoires. I've imported the Hillbilly when I was doing the video on the Hillbilly, but you can obviously create any repertoire. Just paste the PGN, and if you, for example, play the London system, you can play the London system against Nocti. Flashcards are an excellent tool, and I've spoken to Samuel, the owner and inventor of Nocti. He's going to make them even better. Flashcards are basically the mistakes you made in your games. Nocti is going to make you pay attention to them, and in the future they're going to be grouped according to theme, so it's going to be even easier to navigate your mistakes. One of my favorite features, if not my favorite one, and the one I use the most, is themes. So you can play Nocti in any specific position you choose. So if you go to your themes, you can see that I've made quite a few. So let's say you want to play out this position. This is a position from Spassky's game where he triangulated perfectly. If you're trying to practice something, you can create a new team. Just add an FEN or a PGN and play it out against Nocti. That way, if you have an endgame you would like to practice, you don't have to find an actual human to play against, nor will you have to play against a 2800 engine or against a 500 engine human. If you would like to check Nocti out, you can follow the link in the description, and if you would like to get a 64% discount, use the code HANGING Pawns. Thank you very much for this. Thank you, Nocti, for sponsoring the video, and let's get back. At this point, I was only looking at if takes, queen b2. I didn't see queen b4. I just didn't see queen b4. I didn't see queen b4. And I was expecting this, and then what takes? I couldn't see an alternative. And on queen a5, I thought I had a pretty good position. And on c5, dc5, this is what I was expecting. So the queen moves away somewhere, and then knight e4. Yeah. Okay. So not a good game. I shouldn't have played c5. I think I'm fine if I don't play c5. This is just, why is the engine on? I didn't turn the engine on. So yeah, a5. I was preparing a5, and Yeah, I should have done that. c5 is just bad. I didn't see queen b4. Okay, I'm sorry about this, and hopefully I start playing better. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.